Let's see what's new for drawings. We'll begin by opening up the drawing for this mounting plate. Let's add some dimensions to this front view. Chain dimensions are useful for creating a stack of dimensions relative to each preceding feature. These dimensions now come in aligned collinear, reducing otherwise manual cleanup steps. In tight spots, where there may be overlap, a new system option automatically offsets dimension text. On a busy 2D drawing, it can be difficult to tell what entities a dimension attaches to. Now simply hovering over a reference dimension will highlight its attaching entities, whether they be model edges, construction geometry, or vertices. This improves drawing clarity and helps you carry forward your design intent from the model to the drawing. Sometimes you may need to manually override a dimension. That's easy to do right from the Property Manager. Any overridden dimensions can now be highlighted with a user-specified color. This behavior is controlled by Document Property. I'll use the document search to find it, and here it is all the way at the bottom of this screen. As you'd expect, the choice of highlight color is set as a system option. Restoring one or more overridden values is easily done through the right mouse menu. Collaborating with other SOLIDWORKS users who may be on previous software versions can be a challenge. It's now possible to save your drawings, parts, and assemblies back to prior releases. When you save the drawing, it will also collect any reference documents, append a suffix or prefix, or use the advanced options for additional control over the file names and locations. I'll bring up my recent files list using the letter R shortcut and open up this subassembly drawing. I'll create a new note attached to this isometric view. For 2024, the link to the Property Manager dialog stays open so you can create text strings composed of multiple property links. This is a huge time saver for creating compound notes. And as you'd expect, when I switch the model configuration for this drawing view, the custom property information updates seamlessly. However, changing the model configuration on these views causes a few of my reference dimensions to go dangling. Now you can simply right-click on any dangling drawing dimension and choose to reattach. The red X indicates an entity is missing, so now we just pick a new reference. Now my drawing is complete with a minimal amount of rework. The latest release of SOLIDWORKS offers a number of enhancements to DimExpert and MBD. This part already has a DimExpert dimension scheme, but depending on model orientation, the attachment points of various DimExpert annotations could appear buried within the part. The new option in System Options Display enables DimExpert dimensions to display on top of the model. Now you can see the DimExpert annotations stay on top of the model regardless of the orientation. That looks a lot better and should eliminate any ambiguity. Hole tables on 2D drawings are a popular way of reducing drawing clutter for multiple hole sizes and locations. I'll pick the front face to attach the hole table. Now I'll pick the X and Y axis, then these two faces to extract the holes. I'll choose to uncheck non-circular holes and slots, and then hit OK. Cross-highlighting from the table to the 3D part is also supported. When it comes time to save out a 3D PDF, hole tables will show in the 3D view, but you can also add a dedicated table on the PDF template. Another benefit of MBD is the ability to create Step 242 output. This is a great format for sharing 3D data that has embedded PMI, which can be read downstream by software applications or used to program machines. New with this release, not only is the hole table included in the Step 242 output, but now you can also include any or all of the SOLIDWORKS custom properties for export. Improving the editing interface for geometric tolerance frames has been an ongoing project for the past few releases. Double-click to select a tolerance frame, and then click again to bring up a Properties dialog. This release now provides the ability to display dual dimensions in geometric tolerance frames. Let's go to this section detail view. I'll add a size dimension to this angled face. I'll identify this as a conical feature, and this will create a dimension for the total included angle. What's new here is that we can now choose to display the dimension as a half angle. This is a more common convention, especially for turned parts. This behavior also applies if you use a DimExpert auto dimension scheme. For the datums, I can click on the existing datums in the model, then select the angle dimension and set it to half display. Also new for DimExpert is the ability to create a thickness dimension between two curved faces. It works pretty much like you'd expect. Switching over to this ISO view, I've added a split line to the top of this part. However, that causes this overall length dimension to lose its face reference. In the past, this would require deleting and recreating the dimension. Now, DimExpert dimensions can be reattached to a new reference entity, as long as it's of the same type. One last bit of cleanup, and this part is looking good.